Hi, my name is Peach. Let me not waste your time. Today I'll be showing you how to make a rotation transition in DaVinci Resolve. If you're unfamiliar with keyframing in DaVinci Resolve, go watch my AMV Basics tutorial where it goes over the basics on how to keyframe. But if you do know, let's get started. Start out on my clips like this. They're each about 1 second. I'm just going to add an adjustment clip above them. If you don't want to add an adjustment clip, you go to your effects. You're going to go to your toolbox, down to effects. And you're going to hit adjustment clip and then drag it onto your timeline like this. I just have mine stored into a media pool over here, so I can just drag it on like this. And put it over top of my clip, and then I could duplicate it just like that on top of the next clip. So now we have our adjustment clips like this, and then we're going to go into Fusion on the first adjustment clip. Now the node I'm going to use for this transition is going to be the new transform tool. So hit shift space and type in transform. It's going to be the one without the XF at the end. So click that and make sure it's clicked, and then hit add. And you have it right here, and then you can add it to your timeline like this. And then we're going to go to the end of our composition. Then we're going to keyframe the rotation, and then go 5 frames back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Keyframe again, and then we're gonna hit this arrow to go back to the last keyframe that we had over here. And for this transition, I'm gonna do a zoom out and a rotation. And usually if we're zooming out, it's gonna look like we're screwing in a screw, so we're gonna have it spin to the left. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our footage go to the left like this, so it'll be -90, so just about around there. We're gonna add an edge behavior, and we're gonna choose reflect, so it makes mirrored edges. And then we're gonna also add a keyframe on our zoom. So we're gonna keyframe the zoom at the end like this, go back 5 frames as well, like that, keyframe again, and then we're going to have this starting value of the zoom would be 1.2, so we have room to zoom out when we do zoom out. So now we have it like that, and then we have it spinning like this, and then we can go into our spline page. So hit the spline page at the top right this. I'm going to select our node, and we can actually drag it into here to see both of our spline graphs. Let's just select the one for now and then change that one. I'm going to hit Control A to select all the keyframes, hit S to smooth it out, and then we're going to drag these handles so it goes something like this, and we're going to make something like that so it zooms out like this. And then we're going to do the same graph for the rotation. Hit Control A, and we're going to do that, and then we have something like this. But you can see it's kind of stiff. So what we're going to do is add some motion blur to it. That's what I like to do with the rotation. So with this transform tool, we have a motion blur slider like this, and we just click this 3 times, and then have a motion blur like this. But if you see on your last keyframe, there's no motion blur on it. So what we can do to fix this is actually highlight these last 2 keyframes that we have for both of the parameters, right click, and then hit gradient extrapolation. So make it so on the keyframe the motion blur will still be going, and then we have our starting part of our transition like this. And then we can go to the second part of our transition right here in our second adjustment clip. Go inside Fusion. We're going to add the same node again. I just have it right here because I have a custom toolbar, but you got to type in shift space again. Then we're going to go at the beginning of our composition. We're going to keyframe the zoom and the rotation again. And then let's go around here. It's closer to the end of the comp. Somewhere around here will be fine. And let's go back to the original keyframes like this. And since we're zooming out, we need to start at a higher value for our zoom. So around 2 to 2.5 will work like that. And then we need to have our image going to the right, just like this. So 90, because we did -90 last time, we need to start with 90 this time. And so now we have our movement like this. Don't forget to add edge behavior, reflect, and then put up the motion blur if you like. And then let's add this spline, select it, drag it into our spline graph like this. And then we could just adjust our splines like this again. Just do it without isolating both of them. But now we have something like this, and we kind of want to make our graph tighter like this by dragging out the bottom value that. And now we have something like this, and if we play it back, we'll see that we have our rotation just like this. Sometimes you don't want to put the value all the way to 90, so you can just go back in here and change the keyframe value, make it something less than -90 like that. So maybe something like that will work. You know, a little bit more smoother like that. Alright, now we're going to do the other transition, which is the zoom in rotation transition. So I can just switch these around because we don't have any clips out here. There's no transition here, so we'll just do it right here, just like that. And so what we're going to do is, since we have this transform over here, we're actually going to put our other transform like this in front of this one because it won't act to the end. And then we could do the same thing we just did, but this time we're going to zoom in. If we're going to zoom in, we're going to spin to the right because it just makes more sense to do. So let's keyframe at the end again, both zoom and rotation. Let's go back 5 frames just like this, and we're going to keyframe again, and we're going to zoom in. So we're going about a value of 2.5, and then we're going to go spin to the right, so we're going to go to around a value of 90 just like that, maybe even a little less as we said before. We're going to hit reflect, and then we're going to reset the motion blur just like this, and then we go to our spline page and then change our graphs so it goes something like this. Now if we see, we have something like this. So we also need to add gradient extrapolation to the end of our graphs, just like this. And so now we have this, and then we could do the second part of our rotation transition. And we're gonna add the transform at the end, just like this. We're gonna keyframe at the beginning and go around here, then keyframe again, like this, and then let's go back to our original keyframes, and then we're going to angle our scene just like this. Around here is fine. We're gonna have a value of 1, and then we're gonna go to a value of 1.2, just like this. And so we're zooming in just like this. We're gonna add our motion blur just like this. We're gonna add reflect. We're gonna open our spline and then change our spline graphs to shape something like this. Make sure to bring this one in. Do the same thing for the spline graph with the zoom curve. Pull it in like this, and now we have something like that. Now if we play everything back, you can see it's a smooth, nice smooth animation for our transition. If you're interested in learning about how I do my pinch transitions in DaVinci Resolve, click this video right here. Otherwise, subscribe and have a good day.